The LightStanza Revit plugin enables you to efficiently export your BIM model for lighting simulations and technical analysis. For this tutorial, we'll be focused on these two rooms on the northeast portion of the building. So we'll do export and select rooms. Select the rooms of interest. Finish here, we can quickly review the export settings. And once you click the export button, it's not a one-way pipeline. Far from it. After you get the model into LightStanza, in this tutorial we'll be exploring techniques to actually keep the LightStanza model and the Revit model in sync to reflect the most updated design changes. So looking at our first floor plan, we'll start with a simple example of making adjustments to these linear fixtures on the western rim. Window select, right click properties and unlock the position. Say you want to make an adjustment. We can rotate these 15 degrees just to make the space more architecturally interesting. Likewise, you can also move luminaire positions. Say we want to center this relative to its buddies in the room. And moving over to our can lights, you may want to make some adjustments here as well. 35-foot candles may exceed your desired illuminance target, or you may just be concerned about the construction costs associated with cutting all these holes in the ceiling. So you can also delete fixtures. You can just window select, delete a whole row, optionally delete a few more. And now we can start our grid analysis to review the effect by going to the Calculate menu and selecting Grid Analysis. And start. And we can also kick off a daylight simulation to get a more comprehensive understanding of the overall lighting levels on a typical day. While those calculations are processing, or later on after they complete, you can send your design changes back to the Revit model by clicking this link icon in the upper right hand corner next to the username. Here we get a quick summary of the changes that were made, updates, additions, and deletions, so we can optionally send the changes. And then returning to Revit, we get this modal dialog that gives the same summary of the changes. This is a confirmation message that allows you to accept those changes or cancel so that you can refine further back in the lighting model before sending to the BIM model. So we'll click OK. We can see the luminaire updates are now reflected in the ceiling plan back in the BIM file. We have our rotated linears on the left-hand side, and then the new luminaire layout for the right-hand room. And with the simulation complete in LightStanza, you can also send the results and schedules back to the BIM model for further coordination. You can do this with any of the calculations on the Activity and Reporting panel. This will open the report for the electric calculation, and then you can send the point-by-point results back to the current Revit view using this button over the calculation grids. Just be sure you have a plan view active, either a ceiling plan or a floor plan, otherwise the results won't appear as expected. So now you can see the point-by-points are added and reflect the updated design changes to the luminaire locations in the context of the BIM model. You can also send schedules from the same report. So using this button in the upper right-hand corner of reports, we'll send schedules to Revit. Now returning to the Revit model and opening the schedules and quantities section. We have an LS area summary, which gives a breakdown of the statistical results, as well as a luminaire schedule that gives information about all the lighting fixtures that were included in the simulation. This capability can be particularly handy in conjunction with the collaboration features that are also built into Revit. After you've updated the design changes and added the schedules to your local BIM model, you can use the Synchronize with Central button to immediately make the updates available to others on your team. Or wait if you need to make further design changes. In this example, we're looking at a detached local copy of the model, so you don't have the Synchronize with Central option. But if you set up work sharing, that can be particularly powerful alongside the LightStanza plugin. For some projects, particularly those requiring a large amount of multidisciplinary coordination, you may prefer to actually make your design changes in the Revit model itself and push those to LightStanza. So you can do that as well. It syncs both ways. So say for example we actually want to add in some more downlights. We can do that using the copy paste function. Just place them in their correct location. And now with the new luminaires placed, the Send Changes button becomes active. So if we click this drop down, we can send the luminaire changes we just made to the BIM model. And it's not limited to luminaire changes only. You can also send updates related to the structure of the building. So say for example we don't want this east window. Maybe there's concern about too much glare during the morning hours. You could delete the window in the RCP in Revit, just use the delete key. And then the Send Changes button becomes active again. And now we can send those geometry changes back to LightStanza. And now returning back to the lighting design model, we can see those changes are now reflected. The new luminaires are added and the window removed from the east wall. So from here, you can kick off another grid analysis to see the effect of those changes. And we can also rerun the daylight simulation since we did make adjustments to the windows as well. And because the project maintains a complete history of all the simulations performed, you can use the Compare tool to see the effect of the design changes made in the Revit model. Just select the calculations of interest from the Activity and Reporting panel to review the results. So we can see, as expected, the overall luminance average went down after removing the window, but we do get an additional hotspot here to reflect the updated luminaire locations. So as your design project continues to evolve and progress, you can use these tools to keep your Revit model and LightStanza project in sync with one another. We hope you find these tools beneficial and thank you for watching.